How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse being released from jail on a $2 million bail. A lot of you guys that are out there put forth your own hard-earned money. It raised a lot of money to get him out, so shout out to y'all. You also had the actor Ricky Schroeder and the CEO of My Pillow, Mike Lindell. They put forth their own hard-earned money. They raised money to get him out, so this was a team effort. And shout out to everybody that was able to get him out because he most certainly does deserve to be out of jail, for now at least. He still faces court action, some charges because he did shoot 3 people, killed 2 of them, and he still has the gun charge over his head. But I think he'll be able to beat any kind of murder charge. It might be kind of sketchy on the gun charge, but I think he deserves to get little to no jail time. I would say no jail time, but we'll see how the whole thing with the law plays out. The self-defense claim should most certainly be upheld. The gun, I don't know, but I digress. In case you don't know who I'm talking about or you need a quick refresher, I'm going to get into that right quick before we get into the reaction and people screeching about his Black Rifle Coffee shirt, all this and that. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse was in Kenosha, Wisconsin back in August of this year. Remember the whole thing with Jacob Blake? He got shot by police. Didn't die, by the way, but he got shot by police. And there was a string of police-involved shootings, and it was real popular. Black Lives Matter had resurged. So people were out there so-called protesting, really looting, rioting, just engaging in general insurrectionist action. So Kyle Rittenhouse, age 17, young guy, he decided to go out there and protect some of the businesses from being looted, from being burned to the ground. Okay? He and his buddy, they were out there with their rifles. We'll talk about that in a minute. And they were just standing there protecting the businesses. He did an interview, by the way, Kyle Rittenhouse that is, with Daily Caller before the shooting happened. He was out there with his rifle and the med kit. And he was saying that his whole purpose in being there was just to help people. If anybody's in any kind of danger, if anybody has any kind of medical distress, he's going to be out there to render medical aid. All right. Now, at a certain point, this angry crowd of people that were not affiliated with Kyle Rittenhouse or his friend, you're talking about the BLM and Antifa crowd, they start to chase Kyle Rittenhouse. And Kyle has his rifle and is running away at certain points. But then when he gets cornered, he shoots one guy. And that guy ends up dead. Now, the guy that I think he shot first who died was also a convicted sex offender. I'm not saying it's okay that he killed a sex offender. But, I mean, you got a sex offender chasing, mind you, this is an adult, chasing an underage person, probably with some kind of weapon, some kind of malicious intent. What are you going to do? You're defending yourself at that point. All right. And after he shot the guy, he tried to give him some aid. Because remember, he had the first aid kit. He was trying to murder. He was not trying to kill the guy. He was just trying to defend himself. So he was trying to give him some aid with his first aid kit. But then here comes the horde of people. They're chasing him. He runs away again. He finds himself kind of like on the ground. And there's video of this. I'll put it in the box below. But Kyle finds himself on the ground. He falls. He trips up. One guy pulls his gun on him. I think he might have actually shot the gun. I'm not sure if he shot it right there when he was above him or if it was shot earlier. But somebody did shoot a gun first. I'm pretty sure that the gun was shot at him first. Either way it goes, when Kyle's on the ground, one guy is on the video with a gun in his hand. Kyle shoots him right there in his arm to prevent himself from being shot. And then somebody else runs up on him, tries to attack him while he was on the ground, and he shot him. I think the guy that got shot in his arm actually lived. And that arm was looking like spaghetti meat, taco night, taco Tuesday. It was crazy. But what are you going to do when you're on the ground with a rifle and a guy has a handgun pointed at you? And as a matter of fact, the guy that had the handgun, I think he said on social media, allegedly, that he wanted to empty out the whole clip on him, and he should have done it, but he hesitated for some reason. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about that. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But regardless of what's going on, Kyle Rittenhouse defended himself, and the video shows clear self-defense. There should be no murder charge or any kind of assault or anything like that from the video because Cal was trying to retreat. He was not trying to engage. He was not trying to go out there and find anybody, hunt anybody, or anything like that. So I think the only thing that they might get him on is the gun, because there's stories out there, but the story that I read from Breitbart says that Cal Rittenhouse somehow got a stimulus check because of the virus. Now, I don't know how you're 17 years old and get a stimulus check, but again, I digress. It said he got a check from the virus, and with that, he bought an AR-15. But if you're 17 years old, you probably can't buy one of those on your own. So the story is that his friend who got locked up recently for doing this, the story is that Cal gave some money to his friend, and then the friend drove 300 miles north to a hardware store to buy the AR, came back and gave it to Cal, and then they went out there to protect the businesses. That's the story. Now, if that's true, that's called a straw purchase. You can't do that, so that's illegal. And for Cal to have it, that's also illegal. So that might be some problems right there. But you can still claim self-defense and beat that case, even if you got a dirty gun. Well, not dirty gun, but even if the gun that you have is not, it was not purchased properly, you can still get convicted on that potentially, but beat the murder charge, because that's not necessarily going together. That's two different things. You got a gun charge, murder charge, but I digress. The whole issue is that that's what happened, and now he's free from jail. I think he should get off totally. That's what I think, because if not for that gun, then he probably would be dead. For sure. I mean, he was going to be dead. The guy had him on the ground with a gun over him. And there's been plenty of people that have been shot and killed that had no gun. Some say, oh, he should have been at home and it wouldn't have been no problem. Well, you got guys that are getting firearmed in their house. People that are having, they're having dinner. All of a sudden, here comes a horde of 300 people coming to their house. So it's like, what are you really going to do? It's hard to, at a certain point, it's hard to avoid these issues when they're all over you. You get in your neighborhood torn down, your house burned down. Cal Rittenhouse is doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's out there protecting the community in which he lived. People say, oh, he crossed state lines. He lived in Illinois. Well, he lived in Antioch, Illinois. That's right over the state line from Kenosha. It's like 10 minutes away, okay? Because Kenosha is right there on the border of Wisconsin and Illinois. It's in Wisconsin, but it's on the border of Illinois. It's a border city. So Antioch, Illinois is not far away. It's like 10 minutes away from where he was at on that particular day where the shooting happened. But of course, you got the blue checks, the weirdos, the leftists, quote unquote activists, the mainstream media, all the same thing, in my humble opinion. But they're trying to attack Black Rifle Coffee Company, saying that, oh, you guys are endorsing the terrorists, you endorsing white supremacy and racists and the KKK, all this and that. Well, first of all, he has on a shirt. That does not mean that there's any kind of endorsement. And if there is an endorsement, why is that a bad thing? I mean, how is Cal Rittenhouse somehow a racist or a Klan member or anything like that? I mean, because let's be clear, Cal Rittenhouse appears to be white. I could be wrong. It could be something else, but he appears to be white. And he shot 3 white people, killed 2 of the 3. So everybody involved was white. How was this an example of white supremacy? How was it an example of racism or the Klan or something like that? Because the idea behind that is you are a white person that's hurting non-white people because they're non-white. But in this case, he hurt white people as a white guy because they were trying to hurt him. That's called self-defense, period. I don't care what color you are. Just like Tupac. Tupac, when he was young, like 22, 23, he actually shot 2 police officers. They didn't die, but he shot 2 officers. And he beat that case because of the circumstance. They were 2 white cops. They were attacking a black man. And then they got found out they were drunk and they had stolen weapons. The officers now. So the officers were dirty. And Tupac was right to defend the man that was being beat up. So he beat the case. I've seen that happen over and over again. Not even a celebrity or something like, I'm talking about regular guys shooting at cops and whatnot. It depends on the situation. You can beat that because self-defense. Same thing with Cal Rittenhouse. This is not an example of white supremacy. The way they want to try to frame it is, since the guys that he shot were out there, I guess, quote unquote, protesting for Black Lives Matter. Not sure how, going around talking about fight me N-word over and over again counts as protesting for black people, which is what that guy did that got shot and killed, the pedophile guy. But I digress. I'm not sure how doing that and burning down businesses where black folks shop at is, protesting for Black Lives Matter, but I digress. It doesn't make sense to say because they're protesting for them and he's out there not doing that protesting, then that makes him a racist and them just the saints. That's just not how it is. Zoom out and look at it for what it is. You got Kyle Rittenhouse trying to protect places, not engaging in any kind of problems, running away from issues with a gun on him, not trying to confront anybody, being attacked, and having to defend himself. That's clearly what it is. It ain't nothing else to it. This racism talk, it makes no sense. As I close, I'm going to just repeat myself. How does it make sense for a white guy to shoot other white guys in self-defense and then have it be labeled as white supremacy and KKK and racism and bigotry and you hate black people? I mean, wasn't nobody black involved. It was only white people involved. And the people that got shot were trying to attack this underage young man. So let's look at it for what it really is rather than what the media wants you to believe that it is. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Kyle Rittenhouse should be freed for good, not just for now while the court action is happening? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or should he not be freed? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. You guys know where I stand. It's a straight case of self-defense. I don't care what color you are. What color are those that fall? It doesn't really matter. I could be blue, green, pink, orange, fuchsia, and the guy that is on the opposite end of a gun could be the total inverted color. It's irrelevant. If somebody is attacking you, you can defend yourself. That's what I was always told when I was a kid. Don't start nothing, finish it. If somebody attacks you, you can attack them. You can defend yourself. That's it. If somebody got a gun on you like this, what you gonna do? Oh, I gotta get shot because Black Lives Matter. No, you defend yourself. But don't start anything with anybody. Be a peaceful person. Be all about love. Be all about positivity. Only when you get attacked is when you attack. If you go on the offensive, then you gotta then you in a whole different space. That's a whole different story. That's not what Kyle Rittenhouse did. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.